So, as some of us definitely expected, The Rock has officially stepped down as Black Adam. As you would have it, his statement goes to prove that a lot of the things we already suspected, mainly the fact that this movie was a big old flop and that the studio weren't really happy with the outcomes of this movie. But I wanted to take a little bit of time to have a conversation about this specific situation and see how everybody feels about it. I've also noticed online that there has been a big backlash aimed specifically at Dwayne Johnson and his big ego. And that's exactly how everybody has been referring to it, that this man has such an ego that he possibly could have brought a lot of issues and a lot of frustration in Henry Cavill's camp and the studio as well, Warner Brothers, and all this, and everything that was involved in making the Black Adam movie happen. So where does he go from here? Well, I believe that the reason why he handled this specific situation with such a mature manner is because he has also felt that backlash happening on social media. People are finally talking about what they see and what they've sensed in the different trends that Dwayne Johnson has been portraying for the last couple of years. But like I said, he definitely handled it in a mature manner. The statement that he has put out definitely explains the fact that he had a meeting with James Gunn. He's excited for the future of DC, and excited for the future of Black Adam. And I'd like to say that this is definitely how you walk away from a franchise with some dignity. And Mr. Johnson definitely handled it well. And I hope that this experience will humble him enough. And like another person out there who has made it his personal mission to keep this conversation going so that he can stay relevant on social media. Some of these issues are damaging to the brand of DC, but at times they definitely do need to be expressed and handled appropriately. However, once these issues are brought up and handled, we should also be able to move forward and hope for the best of this brand, a brand which has existed longer, far longer than some of us have been alive. And this is exactly what The Rock has done today. He definitely made sure to put on his big boy pants and act like an adult as he announced that he will not be part of the franchise going forward. And I know that what he says in his statement gives the illusion that there's a possibility that he may be coming back for another chapter of this new universe. But I also think that we all know that The Rock is pretty much done in the DC universe. One thing in particular that leads me to believe this is the fact is that in this particular statement that he posted, Dwayne Johnson says, James Gunn and I connected, and Black Adam will not be in their first chapter of storytelling. Except one thing, Mr. Johnson. As we all know, that this first chapter seems to be a 10-year plan that was previously presented to David Zaslav, the CEO of WBD. Specifically, this plan pans out for 10 years. How old exactly do we think The Rock Johnson will be within about 10 years? The man is 50 years old right now. So you will be returning at the age of 60 to the role of Black Adam. Is that what we're supposed to understand from this statement? Anybody else notice that he never once mentions Peter Safran in this entire statement? And to really take a look at this whole statement, he mentions James Gunn a couple of times, meeting with James Gunn, future projects with James Gunn, that he's known James Gunn for a very long time. Even when he mentions DC executives, he never once mentions the name Peter Safran. Even Henry Cavill, in his statement after leaving the role of Superman, he mentions that he met with Peter Safran and James Gunn. I believe Patty Jenkins also mentions, but for some reason, The Rock decides to only mention James Gunn. Why is that important? I would definitely recommend that you take a look at my other videos, my previous video. So definitely take the time to check that out. I think it is extremely important that we need to, I think it is extremely important for us to pay attention to that particular aspect of the statement. Aside from that, the next thing to pay attention to is in that very same sentence. He adds, however, DC and Seven Bucks have agreed to continue exploring the most valuable ways Black Adam can be utilized in future DC multiverse chapters. And it's that phrasing in particular that I want to pay attention to. Let me read that again. However, DC and Seven Bucks have agreed to continue exploring the most valuable ways Black Adam can be utilized in future DC multiverse chapters. That phrasing is extremely important, and we should all pay very close attention to it. I believe that a deal has indeed been reached between DC Studios and The Rock's Seven Bucks production. For him to make such a calm and gracious statement, some behind the scene compromise had to be made. And here's what I think it is: Dwayne Johnson will go away quietly, speak kindly about his time on the project, wish the new heads of DC the very best in their future endeavors. He won't get upset. He won't start a fight on social media. He won't cause any more frustration for this studio that's moving forward with this new universe that they have set up. And although he won't be coming back as Black Adam, Seven Bucks Production could have made some kind of deal to be involved in the next Black Adam movie that James Gunn comes up with. I definitely do believe that there had been some kind of compromise between the two entities, making sure that Dwayne Johnson goes into the distance calmly and quietly, and that for the next actor that comes in to play Black Adam, there's definitely going to be a portion that Seven Bucks production is going to be receiving out of compensation from the fact that his time as Black Adam didn't exactly produce the way that he expected it to. I don't know for sure. That's just my opinion. But what do you guys think? Are you happy with the departure of The Rock and the Black Adam franchise? Will you be sad to see him go? Or do you think that he'll be back as Black Adam at some point in the future? Also, how do you think Tyrese Gibson feels about this whole thing? Start a conversation and discuss below. And until next time, ciao.